Hey guys, what's up? I am back with another speed test. So in this video, we will doing the speed test comparison between the iPhone 14 Pro versus the iPhone XR. And the iPhone XR is powered by Apple A12 Bionic SoC with a 3 GB of RAM, while the iPhone 14 Pro is powered by Apple A16 Bionic SoC with 6 GB of RAM. So on the back, we have triple cameras on the iPhone 14 Pro versus a single camera on the iPhone XR. And iPhone XR has a 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture with OIS main camera, while the iPhone 14 Pro has a 48 megapixel f1.8 aperture with a sensor shift OIS main camera. Also we have 12 megapixel ultra-wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, which give you a 3x optical zoom with OIS. Also the back on both phones is made up of glass. We have a dual ion glass, and the frame of the iPhone XR is made up of aluminium. Also we have a rounded frame on the iPhone XR, as you can see, while on the iPhone 14 Pro we have a completely flat frame, and the frame it is made up of stainless steel. So on the bottom we have our lightning port, as you can see. So in this video I'm gonna show you how much a difference between the iPhone 14 Pro versus the iPhone XR. Like if you have an iPhone XR and if you are looking to upgrade on the iPhone 14 Pro, in this video you will know what is the difference between these two devices in terms of the speed wise. So now let's quickly boot both of these phones up at the same time. Our logos came up first on the iPhone 14 Pro, and let's see who is perform faster, and both devices is running on latest iOS 16.4.1. so iPhone 14 Pro faster when it comes to booting up with the iPhone XR. As you can see, we have a 2 or 3 second difference between these two devices when it comes to booting up. And now let's talk about the displays between these two devices. And iPhone 14 Pro has a 6.1 inch Full HD Plus LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED display with 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10 Plus support, and a Dolby Vision. Also we have 2000 nits of peak brightness, while on the other hand iPhone XR also has a 6.1 inch 720p plus Liquid Retina IPS LCD display with 60Hz refresh rate. Also on the front we have a ceramic shield on the iPhone 14 Pro versus a scratch resistance glass on the iPhone XR, and the bottom chain it is much smaller on the iPhone 14 Pro. Also we have a dynamic island on the iPhone 14 Pro versus a big Apple notch on the iPhone XR. So guys, everything's closed up in the background, no app is running in the background. Also we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. So the first application we have is the phone dialer, slightly faster on the iPhone 14 Pro. So now let's open settings. That is very similar. So again we have 60Hz refresh rate versus 120Hz, which is a LTPO one. As you can see, we have limit frame rate option. Now let's start off with the Amazon shopping, and that is faster on the iPhone 14 Pro. As you can see, let's see scrolling, and we can see the frame drop on the iPhone XR, which you don't find on the iPhone 14 Pro. So that's a difference you will find in day-to-day tasks. Now let's open that. Slightly faster again on the iPhone 14 Pro. Also the animation feels overall more smoother on the iPhone 14 Pro because of their LTPO 120Hz refresh rate. So now let's see some games application. Apple A16 versus Apple A12. So we have a 2 second difference despite having a 4 generation old SoC on the iPhone XR, but still iPhone XR is holding its performance very well. Instagram tiny bit faster on the 14 Pro, and now let's spin out. And that one again slightly faster on the 14 Pro. Snapchat, that is a big difference in the Snapchat. Spotify is slightly faster on the 14 Pro. Subway Surfer, and the display quality it is massively improved on the 14 Pro. So this time we have a 3 second difference. Also you can see the jitter on the iPhone XR. Now let's see Temper and 2. Temper and 2 again massively faster on the 14 Pro. So this time I think we have 4 or 5 second difference. So 14 Pro is already done. Now iPhone XR also done as well. So this time I think we have 6 or 7 second difference. Now let's open this big game which is called as PUBG Mobile. Apple A16 versus Apple A12. iPhone 14 Pro is done, as you can see. Now iPhone XR also done as well. So this time we have 4 or 5 second difference. Also in that game we have smooth graphics with 90 fps on the iPhone 14 Pro versus a smooth graphics with extreme frame rate, and the gaming performance it is also massively improved on the iPhone 14 Pro. You can play every single game on this phone without any hiccup. So now let's opening up the Twitter. That one faster on the 14 Pro again. And now let's open Zedge, and that one faster on the 14 Pro. Yes, it is as expected. And iPhone XR still loading. So now let's see scrolling, and scrolling wise, scrolling feels much smoother on the iPhone 14 Pro as well as much responsive. iPhone XR, as you can see, we have a little delay in the gesture wise because the touch sensitivity is not as high as the iPhone 14 Pro. So last time launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. So let's see which one is faster. That is very similar on both phones, and the camera performance again it is massively improved on the 14 Pro. But anyways, now let's look at the front facing camera. And the front facing camera it is much wider on the iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone XR also not really far behind. Now check out internet browsing speed. So I am using default Safari internet browsers on both phones. So now let's see wikipedia.org with same Wi-Fi network, and iPhone XR is speed the iPhone 14 Pro in that area. And scrolling feels again smoother on the iPhone 14 Pro. iPhone XR looks choppy against the iPhone 14 Pro. So now let's open that. Very similar, smooth on both phones, but 120Hz is makes huge difference. So now check out RAM management on both phones. Now let's see that who is perform good in the RAM management. iPhone 14 Pro has 6 GB of RAM, while iPhone XR has a 3 GB of RAM. So phone dialer still there. Settings, Amazon shopping. Let's see Candy Crush Saga refresh on the iPhone XR. Instagram still there. Let's see Pinout, Snapchat, and now let's see Spotify. Subway Surfer, that is refresh on the iPhone XR. Temper 2, PUBG Mobile. And now let's opening up the Twitter. Still there in the memory. RAM management it is really good on the iPhone 14 Pro, but iPhone XR does not perform very well. Last, we're back to the internet browser, as you can see. And guys, over I have to say regarding the apps opening speed, as you can see that, and the iPhone 14 Pro overall is perform faster in every single task, in the boot up test, in games, as well as in the social media application. iPhone 14 Pro massively upgrade. If you have an iPhone XR, you will see a noticeable difference in the UI in day-to-day applications. Overall, the iPhone 14 Pro will give you a much smoother, faster experience. So in terms of the RAM wise, in that area you can see iPhone 14 Pro is perform excellent in the RAM management, not a single refresh, while on the iPhone XR we have a lot of refresh. So now let's talk about the battery sizes. So the iPhone 14 Pro has a 3200 mAh battery size with a 20W fast charging support, but again no charger in the box, while the iPhone XR has a 2942 mAh battery size with a 18W fast charging support, but again in the box we does not get any charger. And iPhone 14 Pro will give you a 3 to 4 hour more screen on time than the iPhone XR because of the efficiency and the increased battery size you have on the latest model. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like this video. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for daily tech videos like this, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.